I'm a long hair. I've got tattoos. I've got piercings. I've got a beard. I play in heavy metal bands.
We got stopped for not making a full stop at a stoplight, which is untrue because you stopped completely.
My dad left when I was basically a toddler. Both their parents would be there at parent-teacher conferences. My dad was not. Their dads would come and spend time with them at the parent picnics, and my mom was working all the time.
Well, I actually went to grad school out in southeast Ohio. I was probably one of the 5 or 10 Asians there, and that was actually a big culture shock on my part. That's when I noticed a lot of people staring or looking, and it made me feel uncomfortable just being around in public. So
as I stepped out to get the gas into her car, another vehicle pulled up, and there were 4 young men who all happened to be African American who took issue with the fact that I was married to a black woman.
I get these looks, and it's generally from little old ladies, and I understand we scare little old ladies, but they're always like, this guy's going to be waiting on me. So you got to kill them with kindness and show them that not all people, who fit my profile, I guess, are crazy people who want to steal their purse.
A couple more police cars came up, and so we're just sitting on Carpenter Road, just waiting, trying to figure out what they want.
So oftentimes my grandmother would come, and my grandmother had these very long fingers, so they thought she was a witch. They used to throw rocks at me because they thought I was a witch's granddaughter.
I recall times when my father was upset, when my mom was upset, because people would make fun of them while they were interacting with other people.
And I was raised with a definite moral code. So whatever I like to, however I like to dress, and whatever I like to do for fun that might be questionable in a 1950s sort of way, really has no bearing on my character.
And they questioned us for about an hour. Come to find out, they believed that we had robbed a gas station, which had been robbed earlier, so they were trying to fit some suspects. But just how the fact they went about doing, just accusing us just based on what we look like.
One of them took it upon themselves to speak to my wife and use the D word and say, D girl, I know that ain't your man. I replied by simply saying, sir, you're absolutely right. I'm not her man, I'm her husband. And I would appreciate it if you didn't address my wife in that manner. He was not very happy with the fact that I spoke up and told me that he was real in these streets and that we could take it to the street if he wanted to. I simply looked down at my church clothes and my church shoes, and I thought to myself, this probably wouldn't be a good look right now, and said, well, sir, God bless you. You have a great evening. And then I got in my car and proceeded to run him over. No, I didn't really run him over, but I got in the car and drove away.
We are more than the recessed wrinkles of time impressed into every gaze extended, more than the memories that fade to black framed by the burnt edges of our old souls. We are more than slow shuffled steps, early bedtimes, and phones that flip, and untimely cracks in our hips, and the time it takes for us to walk crosswalks from walk to don't walk. And now I'm in the middle of my stroll, in the middle of my street. Cue the music. It's a symphony of horns. We are more than the rich traditions and folklore steeped deep into our ancestry, proud and yet clouded by ships and miles and miles and miles away from identity stripped, trying to constantly find our way in the dark. We are more than the hoodies we wear when it's cold, more than the clubs we frequent in the streets, hell of a lot more than the clubs that beat us down in the streets. We are more than the token that fills the quota, more than the cells that rock more bars than Verizon, more than pants that hang beneath waistlines, more than pulling triggers, more than I'm a bad bitch or that's my nigga. We are More than the bonfires at night to keep warm, more than viaducts turned into homes, more than soup kitchens and hands out for handouts, we are more. More than gravel mattresses and concrete pillows, than billboards of cardboard and shaky cups, more than the rodents that join us at night in swarms, more than the habits turned addiction and now widespread street porn, we are more. More than the hundreds of invisible eyes that pass by and further stain our already weathered spirits. More than the shower we haven't taken since, what day is it again? We are more. More than buffet lines and the sweet tooth I wish would just die. More than carbs that comfort, more than arms. More than the clothes that no longer fit and have exceeded the maximum stretch, we are more. More than your thought of me being lazy or I don't feel like getting up or damn, I can't breathe, I need a rest. We are more. More than more currency needed for extra seats in flight. More than extra fabric needed to let out that shirt just right. We are more. More than our eccentric expressions in the art that consumes us. More than misfits and disregard for civility. More than our piercings and tats that wrap and form sleeves that please. More than the freak show that everyone sees. We are more. More than the hijab that we wear to cover our hair. More than desert skies and coverings up to our eyes. We are more. More than militants and bombs, terrorists and plots gone wrong. More than cricket matches in the park and more than charm turned on after dark. We are more. More than our mosques and markets you shop. And no, we are not all Arabic, Habibi. We are more. More than truck drivers and hairstylists, the softballs we throw and fly ties we bow, we are more. More than the parades and music theater stages, oh. And did you see how awesome she was in Wicked? Fierce, honey, we are more. More than Supreme Court rulings, bans on this and that, and just like that game of Uno, one card throws everything into reverse. Oh, it's legal again? Wait, it's not? We are more. More than rainbows and HIV and the predator you think I'm groomed to be, we are more. More than the aggressive language we might speak. More than over-sexualized imagery displays and portraits of beauty that get stuck crossing borders, we are more. More than our religious beliefs and our political divides. More than the degrees we tote or never received. More than the picture-perfect house that's rotting inside. Beyond the mask worn to the masses when inside, fixated on suicide, we are more. More than media portrayal skewing fiction further to become fact. A thicker set of blurred lines trying to be defined, we are more. More than skin tones, thick accents, our education or lack thereof, our disabilities and our crutches, our addictions and patterns, we are more. We are men who see with eyes open wide to step beyond the internal blockades of that little boy who could never feel, could never cry. Man up, son. Wipe those tears from your eyes. We are more. We are women. Women who step gracefully through days, crashing into glass ceilings, accomplishing more than before. We are more. We are humanity.